Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we'll be continuing with the question and answer. So the second question, this is my husband Wole, by the way, in case you're new here.
You can easily impute the
the intro. I know. So the next question we have here is so this question is from our video, how we made 4 years long distance relationship work. If you have not seen that video, I'm going to leave the link up here for you to see. So the question says, I want to ask a question, please, because I am in a relationship that is up to 5 years and my partner and I communicate well. I got to know his people in 2019. I trust my guy so much that I believe everything he says because I don't like third parties. Here is my question. When I went to see his people, I got to know things that I did not know because what he told me is different from what I heard. I just had to pretend like he has told me already, and he didn't tell me these things. I had to hear it from someone else. Please, what do you think? I am far from him. Okay, I think they are in a long distance relationship, right? 5 years long distance relationship, and you're finding out things that he has never told you when you went to meet his family people. So what do you think, babe?
All right. I don't know, maybe this is owing to my training, my professional training or something, but I am one of the people that believe that a wrongful act is either an act or an omission. So doing wrong does not always involve actual act of perpetrating wrong. It might be not preventing a wrongful act from happening. So if you want to get married to someone or you're in a very serious relationship with someone, there are some basic information the person should have. I mean, owing to human frailty and inability to retain every experience you have. I mean, last night my wife and I were talking, and I'm sure there were things I told her that I'd never told her before. But it was not because I'm hiding things from her. It's just because we never reach that place. Do you get? So there are things like that you may even forget certain things that has happened to you before. But I can't imagine. So that's why the gravity is what we don't know. But I can imagine that the first time she would visit my parents, if I told her that our house is color white and she met a pink house, and I told her that my father is this and she went and met a different scenario, maybe I told her that I came from that my father only has one wife, and she got to our house and found that my father has 5 wives. Those are not something you should hide, because it suggests that there are if something that you know that a person would discover, you can hide it, embellish the truth, or paint it different than what it is. Then what about things that the person can't discover, that it is practically impossible for the person to discover? And this is what I believe leads to the question about trust. So depending on the particular things that he didn't volunteer, or it distorted, or did not complain about, those are the things that will let you know whether you're in trouble. Because I also believe that there are certain people who lie without knowing. I know that people believe someone like my wife now thinks that you cannot lie.
You lie, you're lying. Lie with your full shares.
No, someone like my wife now believes that if you're lying, that it's deliberate. But at the risk of sounding maybe Christian or whatever, I know that there are people who have spirit of lie. They lie about nothing, something that you don't need to lie about.
But that one has a case. That's different. That one, that one has a problem.
That's what I'm saying. So depending on if he's that kind of a person that just lie randomly.
But that's the thing, babe. I don't want us to miss the point of the question, okay? She's not saying that there's something he told her that she went there is not true. She said there are things that he never told her that she went there to just find out about him.
She also said that, if I remember correctly, she also said that there were things that she had to act like he had told her.
Yes, that is when she went there, right? It's like someone comes and says that, your husband, maybe he has a child outside or something. And she just laughed and said, oh, I know. But she didn't know because he never told her.
Okay, omission. All right, so, okay. At that point, at this point, maybe, I don't know why, maybe it just feels uncomfortable about talking about some things like that. There are instances about our background, our family, and whatever that we are not so comfortable talking about.
But someone you've dated for 5 years, though.
Maybe that may be the reason. Maybe he's the kind of person that finds it hard to talk about difficult things. There are people like that when something is too difficult to talk about, for them, they just keep quiet.
Yeah.
So they don't want to talk about it. So it's all dependent on that one. Or if that's the case, which you'll be in the best place to know, what we need to know is if you know him by your estimation, by your summation, all that you know about him so far is genuinely a good person. If it's genuinely a good person, then it's something that can be worked upon.
Yeah.
There's a way you can
help him to be more open.
Ease him into being comfortable, being open, because not everybody is very open.
Yeah.
So the same way some people can be too open that they can meet you today and tell you their secrets. It's the same way some people, you'll be friends with them for years and you will still not know certain things about them because they are not that very open. And there are some people that are outrightly secretive. But in this wise, maybe it's not that secretive. It's just not comfortable coming. And some people who also have, it just popped into my head, some people have bizarre rationalization. Like for instance, they say, if I don't tell this girl this, let me see how she will react. And it's like a test to them. I've seen different things to know that people make. So what you know about him, what you have known about him will let you know for fact all of these things. And if it's important to you, if it's very important to you that everything should be laid bare, then you have to ease him. As long as you know that he's a good person and all of those things, then you have to ease him into becoming at least open enough for you to live with. Because the truth of the matter is, it might not be like you ever.
Yeah.
But can he make adjustments? Maybe something you guys need to also discuss. All of these things that you experienced, you went to his house, there were things he didn't tell you saw. There were things he didn't tell you that other people had to tell you. You may have to talk to him about it. That I don't want to find out things about you that is not from you. I mean, I have always believed in something, and I told my wife before we got married that if there's anything that, one of the things I think is important in relationship is what you think that if your partner finds out, they will not be happy about it.
Yeah, say it.
Come and say it. That way you control the narrative. When someone else tells them, it becomes a lot more complicated to explain, no matter how good your rationale may be. So all of these factors may be the reason. But one thing is important. Since it means so much to you, have a talk. Yeah. Have a talk with him.
Yeah, that's the same advice I give to her. You need to have that conversation. They give me a benefit of doubt. Go with an open mind, okay? Don't go and say, hey, why come you didn't tell me this and that? Just let him know, hey. And I know you're hurt, like you feel betrayed, like he didn't tell you certain things. And like my husband said at the beginning, it depends on how important what he was hiding from. If it was something that is very important, maybe
crucial,
he has a child somewhere and you did not know, or he has been married before and he didn't tell you, those things are quite important. It's not something you forget to tell.
You can't possibly forget
it is not something you forget to tell someone you've been in a relationship with for 5 years. You understand? So if it's something as powerful as that,
even 1 year, if you're very serious with the person,
yeah, let's talk of 5 years relationship and you've never told her that you've been married before, or that you had a child outside marriage. So it depends on the gravity of what it is, right? But maybe I don't know, maybe he has an ex-girlfriend that his mother knew even if he was engaged before, it's something that you should have known.
Yeah. Okay,
so it depends on the gravity of what it is. Okay. However, if it's something that maybe not as much or as big, or something that you would forget, okay, you might want to give him a benefit of doubt, or maybe approach him. Even if it's something as big as that, if you still think that he's a good person and the relationship is worth continuing, you might want to sit him and ask him, because you need to definitely know why did he hide it from you? And he needs to have a very good reason for it, and you will determine how good, or if that reason is good enough for you. But ask him, have that conversation with him, tell him, this is what I heard. And for all you can tell, someone you've been dating for 5 years, you cannot trust other people you are just meeting over him. Okay, so if they are telling you this, don't go and attack him with what you are bringing without first of all trying to hear from his side. Okay, so present it in this is what I heard. Okay, I want to believe that it is not true because you have not told me anything like that before, but what is your take on it? Just open the discussion and hear what he has to say. And if indeed it's true, let him also explain to you why he felt like this is something that he should not have mentioned, or he shouldn't mention in the whole years that you guys have been dating. Okay, and if the reason is good enough for you, good. If it's not good enough for you, you might want to ask him, what other things have you been hiding from me? What other things as important as this have you been hiding from me that I don't know about you? So at the end of the day, the decision is left to you based on the gravity of what he was hiding and his reason for hiding them. And if you find that reason justifiable, okay, so yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So the next question that I would, that was asked is, this one is under, I believe that this is on, I believe this is on the 11 from a hairdresser video. She said, your story is inspiring and real. Mine are 2 days after marriage. I remember this lady. She said, this man left me with pregnancy in the apartment where we stayed for our honeymoon. Did you hear that? He left her with pregnancy where they stay in the apartment they stay for their honeymoon. People around called his family. They apologized and I forgave and moved on. But nearly every 2 years in marriage, this man will always disappear and reappear nearly every 2 years, and I will accept him back because he's my first love and we have children together.
Okay.
But the last one he did, I told myself enough is enough. I am no longer having this mess. Now that my eye don't clear in my late 30s, what would you say to that? And would you advise to start sharing my story and just waiting for the next, okay, she said, I'm just waiting for the next couple of months for 2 years to knock to bring his divorce paper before I start telling the world. Healing through this as well, it would tell me, Shebi, you don't have experience. I will show you. This is someone I thought have the fear of God. 12 years older than her. I don't, honestly, our message was all over the place. But I think basically what she's saying is that, number one, the man left her pregnant in the hotel they went for their honeymoon. And he went, only God knows where he went to. And then eventually families called, friends called, he apologized, he forgave and back. But every 2 years, the man would, almost every 2 years, like there's a specific time, the man would just go. You know, he would leave her and abandon her. And then I don't know how long he would go for. She didn't really mention. But then she would come back. So now she's waiting for 2 years to knock, because she knows that between these 2 years, he's still going to do the same thing for her to give her a divorce and stuff. So she was asking her, what do you say? What do you think about that? She was asking, she should start sharing her story and stuff. But let's even analyze it. Like, not be juju be that.
Okay, I don't know. I think there's more to it than meets the eye.
Honestly,
there's nothing normal about that. If he left once and came back, I mean, first thing, when he left and came back, what were the excuses he gave for leaving that made you think, okay, I can forgive him and accept him back? That's one. Two, if he left only that once, for whatever reason it was, it's understandable. But now that it's periodical, predictable, that every 2 years by default it goes, and there's more to it than meets the eye. I can't for the life of me understand what it could be, or the rationale. I'm even tempted to say maybe he has a different family.
That's what that was the first thing that came to my mind.
I also don't know how he's managing with the different family.
Maybe they come to visit him every 2 years.
Except for that. So, and when it goes like that, how long does it stay?
Exactly.
Maybe those are things that will let us know that he probably has a different family somewhere, and so he spends time with you as one family, then he goes to spend time with the other family. All of those may be it. But aside that, and if that may be the case, then depending on even the kind of marriage you contracted, I don't even know if it is in Nigeria now, you may not have a marriage, legally speaking.
Yeah.
If, depending on the kind of marriage you contract, and if there's another family,
yeah,
you may not have a legal marriage.
Yeah.
That's by the way. But realistically speaking, it makes absolutely no sense that a man leaves his family. I mean, this is not a girlfriend. This is a wife with children periodically, every 2 years. There's something. In fact, this is like stuff for
Nollywood movies.
For movies, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know, bizarre circumstance where maybe you see a twin is playing prank on their wives and all that. See, twins who look alike, and you know they are just doing all those kind of things. I mean, it's only in movies and in novels that you see
stuff like that.
But let's not rule it out. Like, it's happening in real life.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's your experience, and we are not trying to downplay it. Trivialize it. But we can't. I mean, I can't really understand why. I think there's a lot about it, and I don't know the kind of family that it's relatives that you know, but I think it's high time you carried out some investigation yourself. Yeah. To find out more about him, more about the family, and all that.
You know, that's what I also told her. You know, when she asked, I said, you need to find out why. When he came back the first time, what was the reason he gave you? Like, where is he always going to? You need to find out what exactly is happening, because it can be spiritual too. Yeah. It cannot just because he has a family. Maybe he's going to do something some ritual every year that allows him to live there. It can be anything, and it can put your life or the life of your children in danger. So you need to definitely find out what exactly is happening.
Even if there is no danger per se, you need to know that this is what is happening to your husband. Yeah.
And I'm just saying that it could be.
You consent to it, because
or maybe it's a mental thing that comes every 2 years. You need to know what exactly is happening.
That's one of the reasons I said, aside from whatever excuses or explanation it gives you, you may need to carry out investigation by yourself. Yeah. Find out his family history, find out a lot of things about the family, the village, the town, all those things. It may be a pointer to identify, because maybe these families have, you know, decided that they are not going to tell you. Maybe it's something all of them have decided. No. But if you know
because for the family to be coming to beg, but they are not really trying to find out what is wrong with their child that is living every 2 years. They definitely know something. So they definitely do something that they are not telling you.
Don't want to tell you about it. But if you know the village or the town it comes from, you may be able to find out from other people in that area what exactly is happening.
Okay. All right, so yeah, I totally agree with what my husband said. This one says, just a gentle reminder, I watched your video on how you met your husband, and you promised to tell the story of what transpired between your mom and your hubby. Don't worry, we're going to do that story time, maybe in our next video. I've told my husband before, I know I promised you guys we're going to do that story time. I'm going to do it. So this one says, hello there, hope you're doing well. Yes, I am. I found your YouTube channel and I love it. Plus, the wedding night series are very educational. Please, I have a question regarding contraceptives. Is it okay for someone who has never been sexually active and about to get married to use implants? Since you're a woman, let me answer that. I never advise any woman to, personally, okay. I mean, it depends on your preferences, okay? You have to talk to your doctor about it to know what exactly suits your body, you know, what exactly is good for your body type and the rest of it. You definitely need to seek the doctor's opinion, okay? And it also depends on your partner also, okay? You know, some partner might not want to, use protection, and maybe their pull-out game is not that strong and stuff like that. And it depends on how serious you are about not wanting, you know, there's something that they don't even want any accidental kids, okay? So you might want to look at all those things. However, from a personal, you know, standpoint, I usually don't advise people to start to take, you know, before you have your first child, okay, to start to take any form of, you know, contraceptives that would, you know, stop you from getting pregnant because of any side effects that you might not like. So contraceptive, fine after your first child, but I just feel like before you have your first child, try to that's my own opinion, okay? It doesn't have to be. Also, it depends on your partner. If you don't want to have a child, but your partner does not want to use protection, you don't like protection, or, you know, he does not know how to pull out and stuff like that, you might want to consider, you know, other options. Yeah, but personally, I you know, that's my own personal take, but definitely talk to your doctor and know what exactly is suitable for you. Do you have anything to add?
Absolutely not.
Okay, this one says, hello Mrs. Fash, my name is this. I have been following your YouTube video for a while about wedding night series. I'm getting married in the second month. I'm getting married next month, the second week of September. But I have some questions to ask, ma'am, about the do. You understand? I know that we call, sex doing the do. And she said, I believe you understand all your YouTube terms. Yes, I do. She said, question 1, my first and last do was when I was in primary school because I was molested. My husband to be is aware though. My question is that, am I going to experience pain? Since it's been a long time I did the do. Short answer, yes. Even if you did the do 2 years ago and you've not done it since 2 years, you are still going to experience some sort of resistance when you want to start to do the do, right? But as a child, trust me, it's been a very long time, and that's why I was explaining in a myth about sex in marriage. I was talking about people always have this thing that once you the more you do it, the wider you get. You understand? I feel like when you do it, then you become open and stuff, but you forget that the vagina is actually elastic. Okay, it opens and then it closes back. Okay, it takes some kind of
saying all these things in the video.
Yeah, it takes especially when we've gotten to towards the end. It's in the beginning you cannot be saying stuff, but even in the middle and stuff. But anyway, so it takes maybe you have different partners and all that will make it one open and kind, but or maybe you've had children. Even with children it will still go back, maybe not as it was before, but it will still go back. Okay, so and the longer you stay without doing it, the closer it gets. Okay, so if it has been a child, you are practically back to how you were, especially if the molestation happened just once. Because even if you've never had it, when your husband starts to do the do, you don't get this virgin at once. Okay, for some people, right? For some people it takes several attempts for you to get this virgin. So the only thing you've lost probably is your hymen, depending on how molested you were. Maybe the person's genital entered into you, or it was just a fingering or whatever it was. But even if the genital entered into you, it's been a very long time, so definitely the vagina has gone back to its normal state. Okay, so yeah, my husband has no opinion on that because he does not have one. Or do you?
No.
You have one that I don't know.
No, you don't have to have something.
I am just kidding. All right, so our second question is, I don't want to get pregnant immediately after my wedding due to some arrangement between me and my husband. What's the way forward? Hoping to hear from you. I think it's almost the same thing as what we just spoke about. There are many options to control birth. Okay, talk to your doctor, go to your hospital, talk to your gynecologist about what you want. If you want to go in the medical way, definitely go and find out what exactly to use. Don't start to use contraceptive or use pills just because. Okay,
because that's what your sister or your cousin or
uses. It might not be compatible with your body. You might have some conditions that it might worsen and stuff like that. So make sure, let a doctor prescribe to you which one is suitable to your body if you choose to go to the medical way. But if you choose not to go to the medical way, there's always using of condoms, there's always using of there's always the pulling out and the rest of it. So yeah, right? Yeah, but you also, let me just also put in there that pulling out does not always mean that you would not, because like I said, it's not until the guy pour before he has poured. You understand? The pre-cum can actually impregnate you in rare occasions. Okay, however, it depends on you and your partner what you decide to do. Okay, yeah.